Take a moment before this video truly begins. Look at your life honestly. How many times has your peace been stolen? Not by disaster, not by tragedy, but by small things. A message left unseen, a stranger's opinion, a plan that didn't work out, a past mistake you replay at night. Now hear this clearly. If something outside you can control how you feel inside you, then you are not in control of your life. The Stoics were not monks hiding from the world. They were emperors, slaves, soldiers, thinkers, living through chaos far worse than modern life. Yet they learned something most people never do. Nothing can harm you unless you allow it. Not events, not people, not loss, not time. In 2026, the world will be louder, faster, harsher. But you do not need to become fragile just because the world is violent. This video will not entertain you. It will train you. If you apply these principles slowly, daily, honestly, you will reach a state where insults don't shake you. Fear doesn't rule you. Loss doesn't destroy you. Chaos doesn't control you. Stay until the end. The final principle is the key that binds everything together. Here, we don't chase motivation. We build mental armor. Stoicism is not about killing emotion. It is about placing emotion under command. You will still feel pain. You will still feel loss, but you will no longer be owned by them. Let's begin. Principle 1. Know what is in your control and what is not. Epictetus, born a slave, said, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." This single sentence can end 80% of human suffering. You control your thoughts, your judgments, your effort, your values. You do not control other people's behavior, the past, luck, death, outcomes. Most people suffer because they mix these two lists. They try to control people. They try to change the past. They demand certainty from life. And when reality refuses, they become angry, bitter, anxious. A Stoic stops immediately and asks, "Is this mine to control?" If yes, act fully, calmly, without delay. If not, release it completely, without complaint. This is not giving up. This is choosing your battles wisely. Inner peace begins the moment you stop arguing with reality. Principle 2. Nothing disturbs you. Your judgment does. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." An insult is not pain. A failure is not pain. A loss is not pain. Your interpretation creates suffering. Two people can experience the same event. One collapses, one remains calm. Why? Because the event is neutral. The mind decides its meaning. Stoicism trains you to slow down your reaction. Before reacting, pause and ask, what story am I telling myself? Is this thought useful? Would this matter in a year? Most emotional reactions are habits, not truths. In 2026, distractions will attack your mind daily. If you don't guard your thoughts, you will live in constant unrest. Principle 3. Expect difficulty so it cannot destroy you. Seneca warned. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Stoics practiced negative visualization. They imagined losing comfort, losing status, losing people, losing health. Not to be pessimistic, but to remove shock. When hardship arrives unannounced, it creates panic. When hardship arrives expected, it creates resilience. Say to yourself, I may fail, I may be misunderstood, I may lose. Now, notice something powerful. You are still here. Prepared minds do not break easily. In 2026, expect obstacles, then greet them calmly when they arrive. Principle 4. Seek discipline, not comfort. Comfort weakens the mind. The Stoics deliberately chose discomfort, simple meals, physical hardship, minimal possessions. Why? Because comfort makes pain intolerable. If you never practice difficulty, life will crush you. Marcus Aurelius said, "You must build up your life, action by action." Discipline builds self-respect. Self-respect builds confidence. Confidence builds peace. Cold mornings, hard work, delayed gratification. Each one teaches you, I can endure. Principle 5. Stop seeking approval. Epictetus said, if you want to be invincible, make no treaty with things outside your control. Approval is one of those things. No matter how kind you are, no matter how honest you live, no matter how hard you try, you cannot control how others see you. Yet most people quietly hand over their peace to public opinion. They change their words to be liked. They silence their truth to avoid rejection. They shape their lives around applause, and the cost is high. When you live for praise, you become dishonest, not always with others, but with yourself. You begin to perform instead of live. You become anxious because approval is unstable. What is praised today can be criticized tomorrow. What is admired by one person is rejected by another. You become weak because your confidence depends on something you do not own. People's opinions change like the weather, influenced by mood, insecurity, jealousy, ignorance, and fear. Basing your worth on them guarantees suffering. A Stoic understands this clearly. They listen when feedback is useful. They reflect when criticism is fair, but they do not depend on either. Praise does not inflate them, because they know it can disappear overnight. Criticism does not destroy them, because they know it often says more about the speaker than the target. Their identity is not built on approval. It is built on values. They ask themselves, did I act with integrity? Was I honest? Did I do what was right, even if it was unpopular? If the answer is yes, they remain at peace, even in silence, even in rejection, even in misunderstanding. Because applause fades, status fades, reputation fades, but character remains. And when your values guide you, no opinion can own you. Your values matter more than applause. Principle 6. Remember death to learn how to live. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say. This is not a threat. This is not fear. This is clarity. The Stoics did not obsess over death. They used it as a lens. Because when you remember that life is temporary, you begin to see things as they truly are. Suddenly, small arguments lose their power. Petty grudges feel childish. Ego-driven battles stop making sense. You realize how much time you've wasted proving yourself to people who don't matter, holding anger that only poisoned you, chasing approval that never lasts. When you remember death, urgency replaces distraction. You ask better questions. Does this deserve my energy? Will this matter when time runs out? Is this how I want to be remembered? The Stoics called this practice memento mori. Remember, you will die. Not to darken your days, but to sharpen them. Because when time is limited, it becomes precious. When life is fragile, it becomes meaningful. Death strips life down to what matters: character, integrity, love, truth. Everything else is noise. You stop postponing what matters. You stop living as if you have unlimited tomorrows. You stop tolerating a life that feels empty. Gratitude deepens because nothing is guaranteed. Humility grows because status disappears in the end. Compassion increases because everyone is fragile. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, one day, none of this will exist. Not the praise, not the insults, not the fear. So why live enslaved by them now? When you remember death, you stop living carelessly and start living deliberately. You choose words more carefully. You act with more integrity. You forgive faster. You love deeper. Because you understand something most people avoid. Life is not short. Life is uncertain. And that uncertainty is not a curse. It is an invitation. Live accordingly. Principle 7. Live by virtue, not feelings. Feelings are unstable. They change with mood, comfort, and circumstance. Virtue is solid. It does not depend on how you feel. The Stoics did not build their lives on emotion. They built them on character. Their guide was virtue. Wisdom, seeing clearly, not emotionally. Courage, doing what is right despite fear. Justice, acting fairly, even when it costs you. Self-control, mastering impulses instead of obeying them. Emotions can inform you, but they should never command you. They exaggerate, distort, and excuse weakness. That is why the Stoics asked one question daily. What is the right action? Even when tired, even when angry, even when afraid. That is strength. Principle 8. Do your best. Release the outcome. Marcus Aurelius said, just that you do the right thing. The rest doesn't matter. This principle is where effort and peace meet. You control effort. You do not control results. Yet, most anxiety comes from trying to command outcomes. How people respond. How events unfold. How success appears. The Stoics understood that obsession with results creates tension. It pulls the mind into the future and steals peace from the present. Focus on the process instead. Work with full attention. Act with integrity. Give your best without hesitation. Then, release the outcome completely. When you know you acted honestly and gave your full effort, there is nothing left to fear. Peace follows not from success, but from knowing you did your part. Principle 9. Turn obstacles into training. Seneca said, fire tests gold, misfortune tests brave men. Every hardship carries a question. Will you grow or will you resist? Stoics do not see obstacles as interruptions. They see them as instruction. Pain sharpens awareness. Loss teaches detachment. Failure humbles ego and corrects direction. Nothing is wasted unless you refuse the lesson. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this shaping in me? When you adopt this mindset, adversity loses its power to crush you. It becomes training. And training makes you stronger. Principle 10. Nothing can harm a good soul. Epictetus said, if you want to be free, want nothing that depends on others. True freedom is internal. When your peace depends on approval, success, or circumstances, it is fragile. But when your peace comes from within, from values, discipline, and self-command, nothing can truly touch you. You become calm, even in chaos, grounded, even in uncertainty, unshakable, even in loss. Not because life becomes easy, but because you become strong. A good soul cannot be harmed by external events. It can only be tested and strengthened. 2026 will test you. There will be noise, pressure, loss, uncertainty. But remember this, the world cannot break a mind that governs itself. Train daily. Choose discipline over comfort. Guard your thoughts carefully. And nothing will control you. This is Raw Daily Lessons. Apply what you've learned and walk forward unshaken.